and welcome back to HCS Weekly.
I thought, yo, this is my life. I have to go pro in Halo.
In my head, thought that was more efficient, and I guess I was right.
He was like the god. We would have to 2v1 like just to beat this guy. Like
I don't know, man. I'm reaching it. You're like, oh, see you guys later.
A lot of Halo in my life, man. It's been a fun journey.
I love it.
HCS Weekly, your weekly destination for all things HCS. It's nice to be back. I'm your host, ShyWay, of course. And guys, it's an exciting week. We are finally almost there. We are a week away from the launch of Halo Reach on PC. I don't know if people realize how big this might just be when this actually lands, and just the influx of new viewers and new people playing this game and getting excited about Halo. So much seems to be happening around this launch as well that we'll talk about today. So it's just an exciting time for Halo. It's an exciting time to just watch and engage and start to discuss. And of course, for you guys to be here as well, because we have a giveaway, a pretty exciting giveaway that we just announced. And depending on how many viewers we got in the chat today, your chances are actually pretty good. So let me just kind of break down how this giveaway works. We're going to be giving away a full copy of MCC on PC, a PC key for Steam, specifically for Steam. And all you have to do to enter, which of course it doesn't say, I'm assuming you type !grassroots to enter into this. No, what do you do? All right, Maddie's saying no. And now I'm trying to figure. It doesn't say in the Discord what people have to do. It just says what they win. Maddie's typing it for me. Give me one. Oh, sorry. You're right. All the details are there. You gotta like, retweet, and post the @UGC Studios tweet that just went up, and that will enter yourself in. You have to also make sure to follow @UGC Studios. I was looking for some sort of like a exclamation mark tag or something, but all the information is there on screen. You like, retweet, post, and follow UGC Studios to be entered to win. Sorry about the confusion there, guys. That's how you can enter yourself in for the free copy of MCC on PC, the Steam key. Let's get right into our news with MattyRums and start to break down what's happening in this upcoming week in Halo. All right, how's it going, Matty?
It's going good. How about you?
I don't know. I did not read what was right in front of me on screen, even just like when it got posted there. So now you know. Now we got news. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Can't complain.
Right, that's a good time for Halo.
Exciting times.
Yeah, we got a lot of good news. What do we got to kick things off?
Playlist updates as usual.
More stuff.
Yeah, nothing was posted. So I know there's going to be the Turkey Day variants in CC, but I haven't been able to play myself, so I don't really know anything else about that. But Halo 5 starting today. Action Sack is in for CE anniversary, and Warzone Turbo is live, as well as Double XP.
Okay.
And they also said you can earn the Thanksgiving turkey emblem in the game. I don't know if you know. It almost looks like the Master Chief.
Right, they've been giving it away for years now. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's it for playlist. Then we have the big development update that was posted over on Waypoint.
This is nice to see.
Yeah, it addressed a lot of the issues that a lot of people had.
Right. We brought this up last week saying, it's exciting to have Halo Reach landing December 3rd. We can all play it, but there were so many little issues in that third flight that are very concerning, right? Especially things like latency when you're playing on mouse and keyboard. So run me through this, because it seems like there's a lot you got here. There's a lot of good news.
It seems like a lot of everything has been fixed, which is good.
Right.
They said that they made a lot of improvements to the mouse input issues, which they're going to continue to work on. Aim assist is still the same stance. There's no plans on changing it, but they're still looking into it because of the opt-in challenges that it might bring up and things like that. But nothing changed there. In the last post, they were talking about how the variable frame rate implementation that they were using didn't go as planned. But they said they've made crucial improvements that are showing very promising results in the flight that they're currently testing at the studio. And because of the improvements, they are including variable frame rate into the launch as an option.
Big. Yeah. So even those two right there, like mouse input latency, huge, and then your variable frame rate, which is something that people expect to have from a PC title, is there from day one, which is really nice to see. So a lot of really great improvements. They must be working, kind of overtime to make sure this all works. You got a couple other things like audio issues.
Yeah, myself and I know a bunch of other people had audio issues where it kind of sounded like. To me, what the problem I had was it sounded a lot lower than it should have been. They've made a dynamic audio fix, which should have fixed that problem. But just like everything else, they're going to continue to monitor it and see if any other problems come up.
Right.
They've upgraded the servers, as they mentioned, for launch. So hopefully regions other than North America will have a better experience with the game. What
Should
else?
be very helpful.
Oh, yeah. I know a lot of the EU players were complaining about that.
Yeah.
They've made a push-to-talk feature. I'm not sure if it's going to be permanent, but as of right now, it's you hold the V key. It's going to be hardbound to V, so I don't think you're going to be able to change it.
Okay.
But it's going to be, hold it down. It opens up your mic. When you let go, your mic closes. Again, that'll be on V as in Victor.
So another feature that was requested, and then we have, speaking of VSync as well, there are issues with VSync previously as far as applying it and getting latency.
Yeah, it wasn't working as intended, and it was causing some latency issues, but they've said they believe they fixed that as well, and will, again, be monitoring it.
Right. So a lot of what we wanted to see, right? I think the one thing that they didn't fix that people are maybe a little concerned about is they didn't change any of the auto aim or the aim assist magnetism with the controllers. That was something that was pretty powerful on controller. So hopefully when people go in, controllers aren't still, overpowered in some way as far as the aim assist goes. But having like low latency, being able to play it on mouse and keyboard as you should, like a true PC game, is the most important thing, I think. So good updates across the board there.
Yes,
we got
news.
a lot of and we got a lot of other stuff happening in the world of Halo as well. That's good cause for excitement. We've got Halo stickers apparently in CS:GO. What's this?
Yeah, I guess to celebrate Halo being on Steam in Counter-Strike Go, CS:GO, you can now purchase Halo stickers for your guns. They're 99 cents each. There's a lot of them right there. It's 99 cents, but it is random. It's just like opening up a normal crate in CS:GO.
Awesome.
Few of them are, the foil stickers. They're all different rarities. But also, as well as the stickers, you can, if you purchase MCC on Steam at launch, or I guess even after, you'll also get a Halo music kit, which is pretty cool. I think we have a sample of that.
Yeah, some really amazing, like iconic Halo music, which I think they might be able to play up with some gameplay there in the background. But so great to see the timing. Here it is.
There it is.
Timing of it is so perfect, right? Having CS:GO with a massive player base. Yeah. I'm not sure if this is just overpowering me, the beauty of this this Halo music right here.
Yeah, but it does sound awesome.
Yeah, and I just think it's so perfect to have, CS:GO and Halo kind of come together right before Halo Reach drops. And at the same time, we have a little event coming up as well, which hasn't really been announced on the main platforms just yet, but I'm sure it's going to be very soon. This is exciting. Something with Mixer.
Yeah, I saw it announced by our guest today over on Twitter, and I follow Nixie as well. But there's going to be a Halo Master Chief Collection Mixer matchup event next Wednesday, December 4th at 7 p.m. And it's going to be hosted by Ninja, which is exciting because everyone's been waiting for his return.
Yes.
No, the only team that I've seen so far is Team Foxtrot, which is Covent, Greenskull, Nixie, and Moto.
Awesome.
But should be exciting stuff. Be cool to see like like Twitch has Twitch rivals, Mixer has Mixer matchups. So we get to see some good content creators over on the other platform playing the game.
Right, like already taking advantage of these huge brands in Halo and using them to help bring forward these products is great for Halo Reach. So we were wondering, is Ninja going to be involved in some way? Well, you got your answer pretty early on. It looks like he definitely will be. Tournament results as well before we clean up our news here.
Yeah, over the weekend we had the Penn Halo benefit for Real Vital Halo 2 2v2. First place went to Mines and Gun Type. Second was El Fiery and Stevis. And third was Preston and You're Hella Bad.
All right, fair enough.
We also had Europa Halo's Halo World 2 World Series. First place went to Rock Generation. Second was Almorante 99. And third was EOD Spartan Seb.
Awesome.
And last but not least, we had SWAT Nation's SWATiversary 2v2. It was their 1-year anniversary tournament. First place was the usual, Falcated and Bound.
Nice.
Second was NSG Serial and Smoky Dig. Third went to Batchford and Precision Night.
1 year anniversary of SWAT Nation is nice to see. They've done so many great events, and still, like you said, bound, allocated, kind of cleaning up, but good competition across all of these. Good to see like a lot of good like local events still happening for all these communities. We have more happening as well. We got upcoming tournaments.
Yeah, I have two LAN tournaments. The first one is this Saturday, November 30th. It's the LAN Hero Halo 3 2v2 at Dreamlab Gaming in Arcadia, California.
Mm-hmm.
And then next Tuesday, December 3rd, which launch day, Blam Gaming is hosting a Halo Reach 2v2 at Valhalla Esports Lounge in Austin, Texas. But it is a 18 and older event as it is a bar.
Okay, well, there you go. You got some nice local events to look forward to if you're in Texas, and Blam Gaming keeping things up as well, which is great to see. And that's everything for the news, of course. The big news, though, would be just stay tuned, guys. Next week, Halo Reach coming out, dropping on December 3rd. It's going to be very exciting. Matty, hopefully I'll see you online.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good to see you, man. Thank you for joining me today for the news.
Anytime.
I'll see you around. All right, that covers our news for today, guys. And of course, we have our guest joining us on the show as well. I don't know about you guys. I'm pretty damn excited about Halo Reach, and I'm sure our guest is too. I can't wait to talk to Dan Hamill, also known as Greenskull. Welcome.
How's it going?
How's it going, man?
Good seeing you.
Yeah, good. Good to see you again. You're in Toronto, right? You're still here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still here. I have not left. I don't really want to until the prices kick me out at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's expensive here for sure. But I mean, it's nice to have you. I remember just like it must have been years ago now. It was a Shadow of Mordor event. I think that was the first one. I know we kind of talked about this beforehand, but bumping into you and just like seeing somebody who's you're a great like personality in Halo, a big content creator. I'm a huge Halo fan, so somebody I recognize in all these events. It was just like a comforting feeling. But yeah, man, you've been jumping around. You've been a part of a lot of great stuff. You just came back from EXO 2019 as well in London. How was that?
Yeah, that was fun. London's always just a blast in general, right? Because there's something about the atmosphere of just like pubs in London. It's complete, like the drinking culture of London is so different than any other country. Like Canada maybe comes close, but for instance, we went in there, and my buddy was wearing the Halo Reach Emil helmet shirt. And a guy instantly just sitting at the bar, just like an older gentleman, just started like kind of making fun of it. He was like, "Hey, what are you, some sort of wrestler or something?" Right? But it was all like in jest and very like lighthearted and stuff. And it was like, imagine the opposite in North America. If somebody comments on what you're wearing, is that a positive thing or a negative thing in a club, right? Like, and it's like it's a complete flip. It was just like, yeah, I always have a good time there.
I like how I say you go to EXO 2019, but the highlight is the pub.
Oh, the highlight was the pub. Absolutely, yeah, man. That's what it's all about.
You get to play the games, but hanging out with your friends, catching up with content creators, things like that.
Yeah,
is always great. Yeah, man. And of course, I've been following you on Twitter. It's just it's an exciting time for Halo. There's a lot going on. I've been catching some of your tweets. Of course, you've been following the Cybertruck news recently, which is pretty cool. We have. Yeah, it's kind of this marketing we never expected to see, but of course you got this image of the chief or Spartans, I guess, in this the Cybertruck. What do you think of this, by the way? You saw
I like it.
Apparently he was inspired.
Well, it's so funny seeing how people were like, "Oh, this is like such an ugly vehicle." And I'm like, well, I mean, that's kind of the point, right? Like it was like to make something that is just like super out there and different, but B, I think it's dope as hell. If I was on the market for a truck, I don't know why I wouldn't do it. Like, how would you not turn your head when that thing is driving down the street? Like, it's so flashy, for better or worse. I think it looks great. I think
it does look like it does look like it's ripped out of a 2001 video game, though. That's why it's like kind of so, game. Yeah, it's so like polygonal, but yeah, it's so different though. He's kind of shaking things up. I think that's the beauty of it. Is Elon Musk is coming out and dropping something on your lap that you would never expect. Yeah. And turns out it looks like it's ripped right out of Halo. And he said it himself. Cybertruck is inspired by games like Halo, Warthog IRL, which is so sick to see. At the same time, of course, with Reach around the horizon, we got more events, and you're part of this huge event coming up, which I don't know how many details you know so far or what you can say, but let's just take a look at the post for it. You're part of this mixer matchups thing with Ninja, and you got your team here as well. Tell me about this. This looks exciting.
Yeah, so is I am not sure how much I'm allowed to say, other than I'm allowed to announce it, right? But we have to kind of there was some kind of random team matching happening. There is kind of like a half we pick a teammate and half we were assigned stuff. I gotta know how much of that I'm allowed to reveal, so I'm just gonna kind of leave it at that. But like I think it's really cool because my team that I ended up with here, I know all of them, right? Like they're all, and every single one are like hardcore Halo fans. I'm sure a lot of you guys recognize Covid, like he's former professional, right? Like he loved his Halo. And so like him and I am really excited. And I go way back with him as well. Like we first met at a EGLX Toronto like quite a few years ago. It's like when back then, and I was always I got him into some parties and stuff when I was he was all like, I'm on Beam, man. Everyone's like, now Beam sucks. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no, man. Like I think you're like, I always loved his passion for it. And so having him on there, and then Nixie as well. Like Nixie worked Halo Outpost, which is really cool. And then Moto, another mixed streamer, obviously, who just a huge fan of Halo. So we have this like team of just people we all know each other, and we're just all huge Halo fans. So I'm excited to see how we perform.
Yeah. Does it feel like kind of like a new renaissance or something happening? Like when this event comes together, all this stuff kind of happening on the outside. Like, do you feel like something could really explode? With Halo.
It's hard to. I mean, yes. I always want to hold that faith that is the big thing for me is being PC, right? Like you have PC coming out, and PC is just gonna ideally be massive for Halo. Right? You're opening up. I mean, it's on the top of Steam lists and stuff. Like it's going to be a big deal. However, I'm always kind of restrained because I wanted that resurgence when Halo 3 tournaments were going on, and like they were trying to like bring that back, and I was really excited about it, and I was tuning in, like they were fantastic. But the numbers still kind of weren't there. I'm just really hoping that we do see that with literally primarily PC. It's not about Reach coming back; it's about PC to me.
Yeah, cautiously optimistic is kind of how it is, right?
Yeah, because it is Reach, and I've always said like Reach is my least favorite Halo game, but it's still a Halo game. Like at the end of the day, it's like if you're gonna play Reach, you're a Halo game at all, you're probably gonna have a better time with a greater FPS than a lot of what you can get out there, right?
Yeah.
So. But people have their qualms with Reach that are pretty well justified, and so I'm hoping that even especially like new time players and stuff, their experience with Reach on PC, seeing how they like it or not, like maybe it will, maybe for all we know, Reach does cater to a greater crowd than we think because we're all like jaded Halo people. I don't know, right? And that's kind of what we're gonna see. Like, will CE when it comes to PC be like a way bigger deal, and everyone be like, "This is the game," right? Like, when's it gonna happen? We don't know.
Right. Yeah, I wonder. I though there was a bit of like a negative reception, like I kind of understand you with Halo Reach as well. I feel like somehow that's been like changing. Like a lot of people are looking at these trailers, especially if you see the new announcement for December 3rd. Everybody's like, this was my favorite Halo game. This takes me back to 2010. So it's good to see that, like some positivity around it.
Sure.
Nobody's worried about armor lock and we're over that now. It's been years, right?
I am not over armor lock.
You're not over it.
Okay. I am not over
the fact that it happened.
No. Not over armor lock or Bloom.
Yeah. Well, that's good too, is launching with the V7 settings as well, right? So having no bloom, no sprint, like the actual competitive mode there from the get-go. So depending on what type of Halo gamer you are, you still get your bread and butter stuff, and you can play the casual stuff as well. So you get a good mix too, which is good to have. They also have the achievement list as well. They got all these new achievements, which seem to be very creative and exciting. We have a tweet for that to put up. I took a look at some of them. I think you probably know like what they're getting at with a lot of these.
I literally just posted a video about this, like right as the show was starting. I was releasing a video, right? So so I kind of went through them all, and I even like put some clips for where because they're a lot of them are like kind of references and stuff. So the first big chunk of them, like for completing levels and stuff, those were the initial achievements that were in Halo Reach. So those aren't new by any means. Same title and everything of the titles of the achievements.
Even the
but
Dust
then
and Echoes.
Yeah, that was always there. Those were always there.
It's been around for a while, and people just thought it was Dust and Echoes for the trailer.
Yeah. And then the like at least half of them, it seems like though, are completely new achievements. There's ones for finding data pads, which, correct me if I'm wrong, were not in the game before. I could be totally off base on that. I don't remember them. There were not achievements for them before, if there were. So I must have. And then we have a lot of achievements for finding Easter eggs, which is I'm always excited about. That's always a big boom. YouTubers, I know a bunch of YouTubers are going to cover all that, like Mac and people were cool. So that's it looks like there's some good stuff in there.
Yeah, there was one the Lord of the Rings reference. I think that's what they're trying to the Fly You Fools from Gandalf. That one I like for sure. Some really creative stuff in here, guys. You should make sure to check it out. They just put that on Twitter recently. So you've got tons of different achievements here, and more incentive to play and to explore the game, of course, and to make some content, like you said, some Easter eggs and stuff, which is some of your, I don't know if I want to say best content, because you got a lot. You got so much diversity in the content that you have in your YouTube page. And I wanted to kind of dive back to the beginning of that a little bit, because today you've been posting for what, over 10 years now?
Yeah.
It's been,
yeah.
It goes way back, right? And Halo's always kind of been the
07.
star of the show, but you're doing content across the board, like whether it's tutorials or an Easter egg, or if you're just kind of having fun with your friends. It's a hell of a lot of history here. So I went all the way back. I scrolled all the way back to like the first video. I didn't grab the first one. It was like an interview.
Yeah.
Somebody interviewed. Is that the actual first video, by the way? I'm sure you might have trimmed.
It wasn't technically the first one uploaded to the channel. It would have been maybe the latest, the third. I remember I believe the very first upload to this channel was just a straight rip of a Forza trailer. Because I was like given, it was like my first foray into be given early access to trailers and stuff. And I was like, heck yeah, I got to post this somewhere. And at the time I was like, where do I post videos? How do I share this with people? And YouTube was literally just created that year. And I'm like, we'll use this site and upload a trailer there.
Yeah. So how did it begin then? So like, how did you first get into Halo, and then how did that kind of transition to YouTube?
Yeah. So Halo was always. I got the original Xbox something like a couple months max at like the February following when the original Xbox was released.
Right.
And you go to their website back then, and it was like essentially Halo, Project Gotham Racing. Those were like the heavily advertised games. So those were also the first two games I got for the console, was Project Gotham and Halo. And I went off the two screenshots of it's a first-person shooter. I grew up on first-person shooters, and so I knew it was going to be great because I liked all first-person shooters. And so sure enough, who knew it was a Halo? But fun fact, because my first two games were Project Gotham and Halo, my very first game I played on Xbox was actually Project Gotham. It was not Halo.
You chose wrong.
I played it for like 10 minutes, and I went, I'm not a racing fan, and I never played it again, and only played Halo.
Yeah, well, understandably, this game is just incredible. And here you've got, this is one of your first videos that I kind of grabbed your
old, yeah.
This is
we used to make really off the cuff, kind of very, very random humor back then, because that's just what was funny to us. I mean, and the internet as a whole, obviously, but also just being younger back then, just stuff that like there really wasn't much train of thought to it, as much as like, this is weird, right? This is weird and strange, and like, why is this happening? And like, that was funny to us. And so we had like a whole series about that, of just like this machinimas that you're like, what is even, I don't even know, but I think it's funny. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's probably what Red vs. Blue was like grounded on, right? Like these types of experiences. Yeah. At the time you had this website, Ready Up Live, that you kind of had this community that it seemed like you brought over to YouTube. Did that kind of start before the YouTube channel?
Yes. So Ready Up Live existed pre the YouTube, and then they kind of grew alongside each other with obviously the YouTube eclipsing it.
So did you like build this website at a very young age or something? What was your...
Yeah, Ready Up Live was I mean, I even had multiple sites before Ready Up Live. And Ready Up Live was created in response to, it was actually the site I had before Ready Up Live was called Xbox Canada Tournaments. And I would used to host tournaments for people. Xbox would give me prizes, or game studios, and we'd, give games away. I would have been 14, 13.
How do you even think to want to do this? I guess you just like really invested in it, but where did you even like get into creating a website in the first place? I just imagine myself at like 14 years old, like this would not be a priority of mine. Like I'm worried about, that girl that I'm looking at across the class, or like trying to, get through my studies, whatever it is. But you're creating websites and you're running tournaments.
Yeah, it was it's funny because like back then there was just telling people in high school and such that I make videos, and especially pre-YouTube, right? Like it was before YouTube was a platform, before there was this centralized place. Like I used to upload videos to a site called Mythica.org. Mythica was a Halo video website, literally for Halo videos. And my forum I frequented was High Impact Halo. And if anybody in the chat remembers High Impact Halo, then you are an OG. It was all about glitches and Easter eggs, and like just like speed runs, and just like messing around with Halo. And so I documented. I was actually the first in the world to ever document the garage door on Ivory Tower. When you stand near it, you hear like banging, and you hear the Siege of Madrigal play. I was the first ever in the world, the entire world, to actually make a video highlighting that Easter egg way back when, like 480p pre-YouTube videos. Back then, man, the community back then, a whole different world.
Wow. So you must have just fallen in love with this stuff like from a very young age. Were you making like how young were you when you first started making videos? Was it because of Halo, or were you doing videos even before Halo was a thing?
Yeah, it was sorry, I'm getting some like text messages. People are calling me
here. No worries.
I kind of don't. I think I've just always been drawn to creating video content, and whether
Yeah.
that's like even audio content, like just messing around with computers and stuff. Like I was just kind of set loose, like going way back. I was given my own computer very, very young age and just set loose with it. You know, that's which kind of made me who I am, right? Like you get viruses and you just like just set free to mod things, and I would like mess around with mods on when it came to Halo, and like Half-Life was a big game for me way back when. Like again, like you name FPSs, chances are I was playing them. A lot of the Valve games back then, but like growing up. It's funny, people know me as like an Xbox guy, but really, like I grew up playing PC games. My first photo proof of me playing games is age 3, playing on a computer. Like I'm just mouse and keyboard age 3. Like I've been doing it literally my whole life, so I've always been there.
That's awesome. Now, of course, I got another old video from you as well. It's the Halo Reach golf like shot that you did. And that one has a crazy number of views. It has like over 600,000.
That was the first time I started reaching those numbers.
Right. So did that change things for you as far as like your thought process to it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this was when it was even possible to get those kind of numbers on YouTube, right? Like that was pre this, which would have been, Halo 3 videos was everything I uploaded. And Bungie used to share my clips on their blog, which Bungie made me essentially. They would share my clips on their blog of other golf shots we did in Halo 3, which I think you've seen before. And they're relatively simple stuff. But once Bungie shared those, you get 10,000 views on a video, and you're like 10,000 views. Like for people who weren't around in 07, 08 years, 10,000 views on YouTube is like you are viral. Like that is a viral video. Like that is a big deal. Like everyone in the Halo community saw it, kind of thing. And I couldn't, like, starting from here to like these Reach days, I couldn't even join a matchmatching game without at least someone in the lobby like saying Greenskull, like, oh my god, right? Like, and it was like starting to see that happen was pretty crazy. And so like that led up into like just before this video would have been the Reach beta, and the Reach beta was just such a classic moment for me where it was like that, right? Where I would just be like, holy crap, like this is like my community and my people are here, and this really feels like home.
Yeah, that's amazing. When do you think things like blew up to like their apex point? Like, of course, you went from that to like Halo 4. You had some really big videos in Halo 4, and even in Halo 5 with like the rec pack opening and all of these other, like you seem to really kind of explode in viewership.
Yeah, it's been incredibly gradual. I don't like to think that there's ever really a point that was like
specific
a huge,
one. Yeah,
a huge. Having done it for so long, right? Like everything all fed into something else, and like when there were more viewers, you would get more views, and the community is larger. But if I were to pin something, I would honestly say Halo 4, because Halo 4 was during when I was really like, you can kind of look back through how all the videos went, and Halo 4, I just cranked videos out for Halo 4 at the time, and it was just gradual. Like every Halo game, I made more and more videos for. Like Halo 5, I made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos for. Like no one believed me. Like I remember someone on my YouTube at some point said like, man, you didn't even like cover Halo 5 or something. I'm like, bro, literally it's like 1,000 videos. Like it's crazy how much I did this stuff.
Yeah.
But Halo 4 was like, the first one that I'll always remember is we were in class, me and my buddy Minolta, and they released one of their very early Halo gameplays or Halo trailers, I think, Halo 4, and we saw on the top right there was like a work in progress icon on someone's monitor or something that looked like a jetpack, and I was like, I think jetpacks are in Halo 4. And I made a video like highlighting it, like he helped me with a thumbnail and stuff. We looked, I remember just the feedback was like most people saying like, you are absolutely wrong. That is not a jetpack. I'm like, we'll see. And that like cemented my moment, my place in being able to like look at trailers, analyze them, and just make relatively accurate predictions of where things are going in Halo. And I think I have a pretty damn good track record for that over the years of just like looking at something and saying, this is the direction they're going. Yeah, I think I'm a pretty good track record.
Okay, so we're gonna have to talk about Halo Infinite and get your predictions probably at the end, and then hopefully we got some actual concrete evidence here. We can say, set it now. These are the facts. This is how it's gonna. We'll see. We'll lock it in, and then figure out if you're right a year later. But so at the same time, so things kind of got even larger when I came in and I started watching your videos and getting really invested in it. Was actually around Halo 5. Halo 5 kind of picked up a lot of new viewers. What did you think when it kind of landed? Did you enjoy your experience with that game? You put a ton of videos out, like you said.
I will always say that Halo 5 was amazing for content creators. Opinions aside about how you feel about Halo 5, the content there was really, really, really great. And again, while I don't want to have a rec system again, that kind of thing fed in really well, especially at the time, to YouTube content. I mean, that was just, it was all the hotness in FIFA and in, you know, sports games and COD and just like being able to like showcase whether the rec pack openings kind of thing. Yeah, like I went for that, right?
Yeah.
Like haters gonna hate, but like those killed, right? Like you whatever money you put into videos like that, they, you know, they just get back because people liked watching those happen. And so obviously that, you know, again, don't want it again. They tried it. let's do something else. But at the time, just out of content, and between that and just things like Warzone that were just there's so much gameplay that can just come from that, like very interesting things, whether they're like self-imposed challenges or someone will say, yeah, I'm only going to use you know, a special sniper rifle, or like there's so much there to create that Halo 5, and I can say it for other content creators as well, like there's a lot of Halo content creators that came from nothing and blew up from Halo 5, right? Crazy.
Yeah, so one of my favorite kind of series that you would do is when you play with the main streamers. Yeah. You would run there. And this is like, as far as replayability goes, this is, you know, you've got every single option you could possibly think of with Forge. And I don't know if people are sending you stuff to play and then you guys try them out together. We have some background stuff we can show of main streamers as well.
It very quickly became that. Like it wasn't initially that, but then right away it was people would just be making us these like complex puzzle maps. And that was something that you know, from Forge, like fun Forge maps we're looking at right here, like that stuff was always great. But then then people would make these like elaborate like escape room Forge maps that had references to us and like Greenskulls and our symbols remade in Forge and stuff, and like they were incredibly complex maps that like I believe a lot of people actually, you can see the download numbers, a lot of people went and played them. So like we definitely fueled a creation of puzzle maps and parkour maps, and which were, if you've never tried them in Halo 5, I highly recommend either go and check on those videos or check them out yourself, because they're like it's a whole other way to play Halo, and it's some of the most fun I think I've ever had in the Halo series, is playing these maps that are like, you know, rooted in Halo.
Yeah. How did you guys all get together, the main streamers? Because you're great to watch, though. You have like a great dynamic, bouncing off each other, and well, I knew Minolta from university when we first met each other, and then War Dog we first met at a PAX. I believe he was like a friend of a friend. And we just all got along, and he was out, you know, just a biggest Halo fan of the group along with us, and we started playing, and we noticed we had that dynamic. And it all started with a Wipeout map that we did. That was just really fun. We're like, let's just get together and play. It was kind of on a whim. We just filmed it and we did it, and we knew it was gonna be funny with the three of us. And then that, like, I mean, that's at hundreds of thousands of views right now. I don't know what that. It's massive, that one. But that was the first one, like, that kicked it all off, and we're like, we had to do more of these because that was crazy. So that's how it was born. Was it the UAG Wipeout or UEG Wipeout course? Yeah, and they even showed that at the Outpost Discovery. I think that was one of the most popular Forge maps.
Oh, it's a great map.
Play. It just blew up. Yeah, and that's a great way to kick it off. Of course, Halo 5, it has this life cycle now that's been like 5 years coming on to Infinite. So of course it's only fun for so long, and things start to kind of wane as the years go by. Now we're here kind of waiting for that next big thing. Along the way, what's that kind of journey been like? I got maybe a tougher question is, who would you say you are today? Because your content creation with Halo was something that was so, you know, massive. It was your entire life. And then Halo, unfortunately, went through this drought. It kind of, you know, had fallen off a bit. So you kind of waiting, you had to kind of transition in a couple ways. And so how has that been for you? Who would you say you are today?
It's super interesting. My big thing now, honestly, like I would say, pure like revenue wise, which, you know, at some point that's the realistic, right? Like you gotta be like, what's putting food on the table, what's paying the rent, and for me that became consulting. It's something that I kind of always saw coming. There was a very small point in my life where I wanted to go into game design and dev, and that's, you know, that I got honestly potentially still on the table as something I want to do, but transitioning into this consulting side, which it's honestly, it very rarely is just like a little like, oh, I helped you with one thing kind of thing, or like I test your game out and I get feedback, and it's much more frequently I provide something and then it's, hey, can we sign you on for a year to help us with this? And that's you know, that's like the best thing you can hear as a consultant. It's like, well, now I got another year to live here, right? And so and that's, to me, it's very fulfilling. I think it's really cool, and the kind of interesting contacts you can meet. Especially like through each other. I can't tell you how many times one of these people has introduced me to another person, and it's just like, as a kid, that's always been my goal, of just really kind of immersing myself in the entire industry as a whole, that I like to think I've done a pretty good job of.
Yeah, you seem so well connected, and like you're especially associated with Xbox Canada as well. So they're flying you out to all these events. Also, it seems like you don't miss a beat as far as all these events that you've been to. You were at E3 as well, which that seemed incredible. But yeah, that's really great to see. And then I think along the way, did you start to miss the YouTube videos and doing all the content and kind of at the rate that you did it back with Halo, Halo 5?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's you can definitely tell, as is evident by me cramming to get a video out right before this interview.
Right. Right.
I'm kind of getting back into it. It's something that it kind of eats. It's so interesting. It eats at you in both directions. There really aren't many creators out there that have been around as long as I have. And it's if you talk to anyone who has been doing YouTube for this long, like you're gonna find a very similar mindset you'll see of just like kind of this general jadedness you get around the whole thing of just like, you have to compete with an increasing amount of clickbait and just, hyperbolic opinions and, the negativity, which is proven. There's been some good studies that came out recently, especially all the political stuff that like, if you make negative content, it is going to perform better. And that's just been proven over and over. I know. Yeah. And it's like someone like me, and especially like that tied into, you have to make 10 minutes kind of thing, and the longer the better, like, which killed someone like me who, for so long, I was known for being able to like read an entire update and condense it into like 2 minutes and just be like, here's what matters, here's the good points, right? And people were like, oh, thank you for condensing that. But now it's like YouTube's like, you suck. Like, you're not making anything valuable because it's not over 10 minutes. It's like that. You're always kind of wrestling with that kind of thing. But the upside of all this is because of all the things I'm doing on the side and consulting and getting commercial gigs and stuff and working with my sponsors, like all that's so cool. That gives me a lot more freedom to just create and make things and not really have any specific timeline or schedule or be beholden to any views or subscribers. I just do it for fun. The same with streaming, right? Like I do it because it's something I want to do, and it just I play a lot of games. So I'm like, why didn't I just also stream a lot of games, right? And so I'm just coming back into this flow of just creating again because I want to.
Yeah. And you seem like such a positive light in the community as well. Now that I'm thinking about, you got me on those negative videos too so well. That's the one thing that I'm so worried about too, is Gears of War got hit hard with that, I find. I don't know if you've ever seen some of the content for that. And hopefully that doesn't kind of transpire with Halo. Here's you at an event as well, by the way. Is this XO? Yeah. This looks exciting. Of course, at XO you got to play Reach, the Reach flight. And with Reach like releasing in a week, what did you think of it so far? I saw some content that you have from YouTube as well that you've been putting up.
I'm ready. Like it's there's for all the people that are concerned, I don't share as much concern. It's one of those things that you can have you never know. And 343 is a track record for releasing something and then suddenly it doesn't really work as well as I ever expected it to. My big concern, honestly, is not about frame rates and things like that. I think it's a lot more the controller versus keyboard and mouse situation, because as of my last time playing, controller just absolutely dominated keyboard and mouse, and that's something that you don't expect in PC, and maybe that's something that we'll also come to learn over the course of Halo's coming to PC. I'm very curious to see if that is also just some kind of effect of Halo, because Halo is a different shooter. And a lot of people deny that, but you see someone like Summit come in and just like not perform as well as you'd expect him to perform. And I think we're going to see that a lot. We're going to see these people coming into the Halo community and seeing and saying, oh yeah, like, man, I'm like great at PUBG or something. Like, you'll see how I do in Halo, and they won't be able to keep up and they'll get frustrated. And I hope that doesn't turn them off. I hope that just further encourages them to try harder and, maybe learn from some other pros, because Halo is, people come from Halo and they dominate all other esports because Halo is one of the hardest games out there.
Yeah. It's got to be something about the time to kill, right? Just the fact that you have to drop their shields and land all those shots precisely. So you have a lot of experience on mouse and keyboard, though, right? Did you find there was any issues with latency on your end that kind of made it more difficult? Because that's kind of what people are saying.
Yeah, I never really experienced it. It wasn't super bad for me, as much as again the big thing for me was that I definitely noticed when I was getting absolutely outplayed and it shouldn't happen. Like I was like, it's the same reason when you play with somebody like that guy, he is host, right? It felt like that a lot of times, and then you would look at their move and you're like, oh, this guy's on controller. And so it was rarely to me about the movement mouse and keyboard felt pretty good to me, but it was by no means perfect. It wasn't 1-to-1 necessarily. Like it was close. But again, like I played, like you said, even in these clips here, we did a flying snipers game where we turn settings on where we just fly in the air and try to no-scope each other. And like we did pretty fantastic at that. And to me, it's evident that clearly if you can no-scope as easily as you can and Reach with mouse and keyboard, then that's going to be a bit of a game changer. But the other weapons, we'll see how that works. Being able to actually follow someone who's strafing, hopefully it's all up to snuff.
Yeah, yeah. It really seems like you have to be very engaged in every single shot on mouse and
Yes,
keyboard. Like
absolutely.
it's just yeah. So like laser focus, make sure you hit that precisely. As opposed to like with console, I find once you get him within that auto aim kind of range, the first couple shots you almost don't have to think about. You
Yeah.
just kind of flick it on, and then you have to worry about the strafe kind of
Exactly.
later in the fight or
Exactly.
whatever technique he's going to pull. But
Yeah, trying
it's
to hit those
interesting.
4 or 5 shots with the DMR on mouse and
Yeah,
keyboard. It's just
every
it
single
was
shot is
really
like-
hard, really
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, yeah. So really curious to see how that's going to play out. Of course, do you find that you're kind of bringing back some of the old memories? Look at you're getting some good
Yeah,
shots here and
this
there.
is what we're talking about here. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can see
yeah.
like that's all entirely mouse and keyboard. All of us were only playing mouse and keyboard there, just
right.
to be completely fair, right? And it's like, yeah, you can definitely tell that it's pretty clearly like that should have hit. Come on, there's some of them. Yeah, it's I'm super excited, man. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's landing on PC now. It's being invited to so many more people. It's Halo Reach, which is an older game, but what do you think of this like potential as far as with the event with Ninja coming up? With all of these everybody talking about it with the Cybertruck and CS:GO. Like, do you really think we could have numbers that'll last? Like, will it stand the test of time?
I mean, I stand by. We will be dead before the last Halo game comes out. Halo is the Star Wars of video games. It's just
Right, it's
gonna
not going
always be
anywhere.
around, right? Like, yeah, like anytime anyone's ever like, oh, Halo's dead, right? I'm like, man, there are actual dead games out there that you're doing a disservice to for like the fact that I can hop on back compat Reach and there are hundreds of people playing the MLG playlist. Like, to me, that's still a good thing. And like, while yeah, we all want to see higher numbers. That's something we all strive for, and I really hope it comes out and it really keeps getting bumped up. It's that you always need the community to really be supportive in the positive ways, right? It's one thing to complain about these numbers and stuff, and it's another thing to complain and then tell people not to keep playing, right? Like it's a matter of being like, yeah, like we'll grin and bear this, or maybe we'll make our own settings or something, but it's just like continually being there for Halo and pumping up that community is the best thing, especially now that we're welcoming everybody in now, this huge entire new community. It is beholden on the forerunners of Halo here to really just be a welcoming and positive influence and help these people and train these people and give them tips and tricks and just really build up this new community that's coming through PC.
Yeah, I completely agree. And yeah, that's going to be the grind the moment that it drops. That's the exciting thing about it too. But yeah, hopefully that all kind of happens and carries us over, right? The biggest thing is like, getting a good, a population of people coming in and playing the game is great. Holding on to them, for a long time would be awesome too. But as long as we can just get, a decent amount of people excited about Halo for the next year, we just got to hold out till infinite. It's what it seems like. Just good positive reception until infinite, and then when that drops, it seems like everything could change from there. Of course, you've seen the Halo Infinite trailer. You said you didn't love it, though. I was watching your video and I felt like you were kind of loving a lot of aspects of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was the there's an emphasis there, is that I didn't love it, right? And it's, man, I can't tell you how many people are like, oh, what are you like? You're bad at disliking things. I'm like, that is the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. But it's like, no, for me, it was interesting because it's supposedly the very first cutscene in the game. And so for me, I don't believe that's really been done before in Halo. And that was my beef with it, is that I wanted, for teasers like this, I always love the flashy, splashy, fancy pre-rendered stuff. And like, on the other hand, I love that we get to see like, yeah, this is an engine, like this is what it's gonna be, and we'll see this again when we play the game. But I don't know, it was if this big cliffhanger thing, it left us with questions, but not questions in the like, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, we'll see. Like, maybe we'll look back once the game's out and it'll have this cutscene will have a lot more significance. It's certainly grown on me since I made that video. But yeah, it's I just wanted the flashy, and maybe we'll get that again come next trailer.
But it's a very human story. You said you're a big fan of the Dustin Echoes character here.
Yes, yeah. Our pilot, Mr. Pilot.
Yeah.
Brohammer. I love Brohammer.
Brohammer. There you go.
Brohammer.
Yeah. So what do you think, or sir, what would you want to see, I guess, considering you have so much experience in Halo, you've been, grounded in this for so many years. And of course we had the rec pack openings and everything that kind of came out of Warzone. That's good for viewership, building community, but you're kind of been there, done that as well. Going on into Infinite, are there any like really big things that you want to see for this new title to succeed?
Yeah, literally my number one request is just a better, progression / like challenge system. Reach did it the best of the Halos. It wasn't perfect. It felt a little tacked on, but it was still, surprisingly, we haven't seen it done as well as Reach did. I want to come on every day. I want to have daily challenges. I want to have weekly challenges. I want to have monthly challenges. I want to use those to unlock rewards, unlock new armor and stuff. And since then, there's been like Halo 4, like kind of had it, but no one could even see it. It was buried in menus. I want a reason every day, you know, MMO style, Destiny style, to get on and grind. Like the population holds when there is a true reason to come on. So many people finished, say, Halo 4, got to the end of the commendations and got all their armor and said, well, I'm done playing the game, right? Like that's and Halo 5 kind of had a weird inverse of that, whereas there was so much that they're like, I'm never gonna get it all, and there's no real like progression there. I need these tiers of progression. There's nothing to grind for. And so my number one thing with Infinite, no matter where it goes, no matter how it goes gameplay wise, I just really want to see that reason to come on and grind and those very clear laid out goals to unlock things.
Yeah. For Halo 5 as well, though, what they would do, like you said, on top of having all these challenges, there's tons of it. So I guess better rewarding the player for this experience. Halo Reach, you could pay for your armor pieces. You're collecting credits and whatnot, so you're continuing to kind of purchase and upgrade. Something about the system in Halo 5, though, where you kind of go through, you know, Platinum, Diamond, Onyx, Champion. You have all the different tiers. Champion is always like fluctuating, I find. So you never feel like you kind of complete your ranking, and I was wondering if that's part of the reason why people don't really like it or get behind it. It's just the fact that it's like you're champion for one day, you stop playing for a couple days, and you're out of champion because it's always fluctuating, or the season resets. People will always look back at 1 to 50 and say that's the best way. Maybe it's because you can kind of complete it, right? So
I think you're absolutely right. I think there's a very interesting thing about that is that, you know, I'm of the belief that the Halo 5 ranking system is as a standalone ranking system, a very strong on paper ranking system. What is forgotten in it, though, is that player experience, especially when you look at it through different lenses. When you look at it through a more competitive lens, you look at it through a more casual lens. It's, you know, even for someone like myself, who I wasn't as competitive back in the day, going through, like mine was Lone Wolf, right? Like going through the Lone Wolf playlist and trying to rank up and get as high as I could, there was that sense of completion, right? There was that very exciting, like, oh yeah, you got to 50. You're done, right? Like you made it. You're happy, right? Like, and that's something that you always strive for. And so that being said, people also forget how crappy that system was at points as well, right? Where you could fully forever get locked at a rank and you could never actually get out of it. And like that was so incredibly brutal, and people they gloss over that when they like these rose tinted glasses of how great that system was. But then all the accounts, the smurfing and the account selling.
You make new accounts to cover that.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like there was the de-ranking, there was some brutal stuff in there, but I do think, somewhere between that, I'm of the opinion that, you're right there, that having a more clear, almost just simpler in that sense. It doesn't need to be that complex on paper. It just has to be fun and challenging and just kind of keep rising those ranks, right?
Yeah, it's like a tough balancing act of having something that feels like you can complete it and be rewarded for it, but also has to also be endless in some ways. You continue to play, you're always working towards something. There's a reason to grind, like you said. Beyond that, just having, a ranking system or something that kind of encourages you to continue to play. Is there anything else that you think they really need to work on? I know one big issue with Halo 5 is just how quickly they kind of respond to feedback and kind of, can change and upgrade the game. I think that's going to be a big focus for them.
Yes. I mean, that was certainly an issue with Halo 5. And there was that time I made that Deer 343 video where I had a bunch of pros on, and Ninja at the time, or before current Ninja, what, this crazy reality we live in. And it's kind of right before that happened, actually, which is funny. But, we talked about some of their displeasures and how there seemed to be some egos and things weren't necessarily moving very fast. And that's obviously something that I firmly believe they have gotten better at, just even in general as a company. They've been significantly more transparent. And that's something that, even behind the scenes where that's something that I push, right? Because it's obvious that I have some contacts there at 343, right? Like I'm pretty close to a lot of those guys. And that is something that I personally push, right? I'm I congratulate them when they do be transparent. Like that's something that I want for everybody. Like that's, that to me is the most player-centric position to hold. And so I really hope, ideally, now that they own an entire engine, they'll be able to really implement things faster, which has always been an issue that plagued Halo forever. A lot of people don't realize that, it's just press a button and implement new armor into the game or something.
I wish.
But Halo games have just been this crazy patchwork to create the most. They all have chunks of the existing engine. And if anyone's ever done any kind of coding or game design, it's this Frankenstein that's just insane. Just starting fresh again, I feel like a lot of these years they took making Infinite is just perfecting this system that'll really allow them to go in and tweak every little thing on the fly.
Right. So yeah, building that new engine, that's huge, right? Something that's hopefully flexible, that can be, they can adapt and make changes quickly, as opposed to, like you said, in the past, what they would do is they'd have their content update planned way in advance, which is good. But along the way, people would, the community would have a specific issue or something that needs to be fixed or needs to be added. And that's not in that content updated. That's in content update number 3 or something. So you're waiting like 6 to 8 months, longer than you might need to. So things like that, just having those plans, but also being flexible and having, a new engine to do so, I think would be huge. But yeah, I just really excited to see kind of what comes of that. And hopefully the initial kind of investment that we get from Halo Reach and all the excitement around that carries over, and things can just kind of explode with Halo Infinite. We're learning along the way too. Hopefully 343 is learning a lot through this experience. A good way to kind of kick it off onto PC. And of course, chat, everyone in the chat can engage in this discussion as well. If you guys have any questions for Greenskull, we do have a couple questions, and I'm assuming they will continue to come up. But we have Chief 86 who says, what is involved for a Halo content creator? What does a typical day look like, and what can we expect for the future of Halo? A lot of different questions in there, but yeah, what does it look like for you as a Halo content creator, or what will it look like as well? Because I'm sure you got a lot more videos you're going to be doing.
Yeah, so obviously, like that's the hardest part about Halo versus almost every other major game franchise, especially ones that are like really content heavy and YouTube heavy. Is Halo has these big breaks, especially with Infinite. How long is between it? It's how they're like it breaks the strongest of men. Having no content to make, like you're just kind of coming, like it's the reason like I slowed down Halo content at some point there, because I was like, look, like I'm not just gonna make stuff up here anymore, right? I have nothing I want to make. There's nothing I find interesting. Like I'm not gonna force myself to do something I don't want to do, right? And so like that is always rough. But day to day, increasingly, luckily now that there's doing PC stuff again, like it becomes a typical content creation angle where it's you find things to make, right? Whether it's having a fun game night and recording that and putting like that's what I'm doing a lot of lately, or it's documenting where an Easter egg is, or helping someone out, or if you're someone like Vitoed, who I think is literally one of the awesomest members of the whole friggin' Halo community, someone like that who literally goes in and analyzes projectile spreads and like things like that, and like it's really going in there and like finding your niche and something you're passionate about, and not really worrying about what else someone else makes. Or like your recent vids have been fantastic. Like your spring jump videos, and like that's so cool. I remember you showed me on your phone. We were at the HUD office, like you're very early working on something. You're like, check it out, working on. I'm like, yeah, man, like then keep going. That to see where that's come is really cool. But like that's as well as anyone that you just need to go out there and make stuff. And even if that's just streaming, which is increasingly obviously popular, and something that we really need, right? Like I literally put a challenge out there for every single person watching this who also streams, is just like pump those numbers up in the Halo community and just start streaming Halo. And I don't blame you for not wanting to stream Halo 5 or like anything current, but Reach, it's new, it's fresh, as weird as that sounds. Again, hop on it and just get on that grind every day, whether you're having fun, whether you're just like grinding to unlock stuff, like just get in there and like that's your everyday, right? Your everyday is just, it can be as easy as just playing and interacting with the community.
I like your point though about finding your niche and what you're passionate about within Halo. That's the beauty of it. Is Halo is so massive as a game. There's so many facets and areas and ways that you can engage with it. Like you've got somebody like Hidden Experience making lore videos, and I have no idea what he's talking about. I don't follow the lore of Halo. I respect it.
I don't know half these
Halo's
names.
great. I don't know. A lot about that, but I find that exciting, and that's so great that you could be so passionate and invested in that. At the same time, there's incredibly deep mechanics in Halo, and that's what I'm excited about. Is how can you spring jump and chain that into some incredible sequence and get a kill, or why was his positioning in this 1 second so crucial for his killing spree, whatever it was. So there's so much to it. Just find your niche, what it is that you love and are passionate about in Halo, and that's what you can create. And that's
and my follow up on that is what we were saying before, to bring back around, is like don't focus on making negative content, right? Like even if there's something negative you want to make, like you can be critical, but that's if you're not actually providing an alternative or like real grounded reasons and really presenting it as an opinion, right? Then you're losing a lot of credibility, and like don't do that for the views, because we need a lot more of the positive content creators out there. People who are just doing it for fun, or just having a great time and just building up that community. Like that's you see that start fading, and you see the dark side start fighting back. And that happens in like every Halo cycle, right? And we just need more positive content creators out there to kind of keep it all even, to balance the force.
Yeah, definitely worried about things like immediate dismissal. You know what I mean? Like I understand the no sprint argument. I don't really care if it has it or it doesn't have it. I don't think it's gonna break or change the game in any massive way. But little things like that, where like you hear one thing that you don't like at first glance, like I want to encourage people to just give it a try. See what you think. Run it through your own kind of criteria for what you think is a good game before you just immediately kind of dismiss it and say that it's bad. So like you said, these negative videos, they create so much viewership, though there is, it's justified sometimes when there are issues that need to be fixed, and it's good to be critical. But yeah, exactly. Just kind of, having content that grows our community and gets people excited to play the game rather than pushes them away. Is hopefully what happens. Mr. Tony says, what's your favorite Halo story-wise, and what's your favorite Halo competitive-wise?
So story-wise, ODST. I believe ODST is an absolute masterpiece of a game, top to bottom. Every time I play it, I discover something new, and I have greater respect for something. And I always say, just go watch the initial dev vlogs and stuff, the Vidocs where they're talking about it. There is no game that Bungie made out there that they smile as much and are as jazzed about talking about their game than ODST. And I challenge everyone, if they don't believe me, to go back and look at the listen to Joseph State and say, what if the phones rang? Right, he's so excited about it, and you can see those little bits of passion every time you play that campaign. You look and there's I'm telling you, it is a masterclass in game design that a lot of people overlook.
ODST is such a special title as well, right? Maybe it's because they had that freedom. They didn't have to worry about a competitive multiplayer.
Absolutely.
It's just, we're just going to focus on a game that has an expansive story, and they got the firefight as well. But this open hub world was such a new concept.
And I wish it was more fully realized as they initially wanted it to be. But we got something there.
Do you think that's something that would be really sick in Halo Infinite, some sort of a open world type format for it? Because I love the sandbox style of Halo and how they continue to vary it up. They don't give you something that's too big and too expansive, but I think leaning into it a little more maybe.
Yeah, I believe everything they've shown us is not misleading. I'm fully believe that.
Right, they've shown a huge
from their
so
very
far.
first trailer. Yeah, I think it'd be silly to not think that they're trying to expand and make things genuinely massive.
Yeah.
And to answer the follow-up there of favorite competitive multiplayer, it's honestly probably tied between 3 and 5. And I 3 just, it's an easy answer for a lot of people, and then you get the 2's better kind of thing, and I get that. But to me, 3 strikes a lot of the same chords as 2, but brings it to a little more modern of a space. I get hung up on how dated Halo 2 feels to me. And just that's just my opinion. I totally get it. And I like all Halos, but it's 3 for me is the one that when I watch a good duos in 3 or the recent Halo classics and stuff that really gets me jazzed more than anything. And I think it has a slight edge over Halo 5 for me. But Halo 5, I just like the speed of it. I think the plays you see in Halo 5 sometimes I'm just God damn, you are insane. And I feel like that it's just a speed thing. It's just how quick and the complexity of controller movements that comes in the territory of having sprint and slide and spring jumps. It's a whole dance that you don't normally see.
Yeah. Now that you've actually said that, between Halo 3 and Halo 5 being your favorites, which great choices, by the way, but what do you think of with the next title? Should they go further in the direction that Halo 5 picked, or are you trying to find a middle ground, some way to hybridize the two of them, or do you want to go back to the Halo 3 style? And where would you?
There's no way in hell they'd ever go back.
All the way back. I don't think they would.
It's never going to happen. It's just not realistic anymore. What elements stay and go are up in the air, right? And I guess we'll find out when it happens. Obviously, again, for me, I like elements from both those games, and if that means it's Halo 3 with sprint and equipment kind of thing, right? As Halo 3 did, it's literally Halo 3 with sprint, and that's the middle ground we need to settle on. Then I think I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, finding some sort of a happy medium that kind of gives you the speed fluidity of a newer title, but also brings back some of, I think, the strategic pacing that you had in Halo 3, which was something that was so exceptional about Halo 3 is you get punished so hard for making aggressive plays, and they kind of took some of that out. So having a good balancing act between the two.
Yeah, and that's, a lot of the Spartan abilities, the Spartan charge, just, pretty genuinely hated.
Right, exactly.
I don't think ground pound is much of an issue. While we should axe it anyway, but I don't think it's much of an issue just because it's competitive. Yeah, I've seen it once, right? They don't really use it. But getting rid of some of these very superfluous abilities and just kind of, and even just again, while it's so cool and technical to see these slide, sprint, jumps, you just kind of cutting that down a bit and making it a little more, again, even if sprint was there, no, not there, right? Even if it's crazy fast movement, I just kind of want this, like you said, like it just kind of be punished a little more for just charging in and have it be a lot more,
right.
Two sides of the map be like, as soon as I cross half, we're in danger territory again, right? It's not sprinting, sneaking behind something.
Yeah, exactly. Making you to kind of you're forced to make more strategic decisions as a team, which is would be really exciting to see. So a good kind of sweet spot. I agree with you on that. Coach Exor says, what do you think Reach's impact will be for all platforms? Do you think you will see increased number in tournament attendance, more lands, and more involvement and creativity from all inactive content creators?
Yeah. Again, I don't think it's so much Reach as much as PC. PC, it doesn't matter what game would be coming out here. It's the fact that Halo is on PC, and that is going to increase these things. It's going to increase the content creation. It's going to increase tournaments as a whole, and people are going to make those and like see how PC players fare and stuff. In terms of attendance, I don't think Reach is the one to do it personally.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're right. Like, again, maybe the PC angle will make that exciting, right? But we'll see. I'm way more excited about almost every other title. Seeing how Halo CE being re-released on PC does, and Halo 2 Anniversary, which I feel never got its fair shot because that is a friggin' cool
really
game.
Nice game.
Really cool game, and seeing that brought back again and given a second shot that it deserves, I want to see that and see what
that could actually be hype.
It could be very hype.
Yeah, thinking about it. And they also, like, I played it recently. I know that the issue was there's only like a few maps, right? You got like your kind of 3 core competitive maps, but they added all these Forge maps. Like, they don't look as pretty, but they're viable, I think, as options. So you could probably get something going for Halo, for H2A. And it's a great sweet spot as well. It's like you got the quality, graphics of like a modern game, but yeah, it's your classic Halo style too. So it's a pretty cool one to check out. Or will be a cool one to check out. That's all I have for chat questions. Just to kind of close out here, what would be next for you in your channel going forward? Of course, you're going to be grinding Reach.
Yeah, Reach stuff. Honestly, we'll see. But I'm thinking, honestly, a lot of it's just going to be a lot of fun stuff for the next little bit of just like hosting custom games with my community and recording it. And like I already some in the backlog that I got to release before the game's out. So hopefully, within the next 7 days, I'm gonna have some where we just like I called out on Twitter and we got like 10 people to just just have a bunch of fun with stupid custom games and just messing around with stuff like that again. Like that's honestly one of the things that also created me was Halo Reach custom games way back when. So kind of getting back into that and just having a good time with the community and streaming. And I think that's gonna be a big thing for me.
Back to the roots. Sounds exciting, man. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. It was great catching up, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you have coming up, man. Just looking forward to people creating and getting excited about Halo again, which is going to be so great. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, that's everything for today's episode. Of course, we have our giveaway that I kind of butchered the details on how to be part of that giveaway. You had to like the tweet, retweet the tweet. There it is right there. And follow UGC Studios for your chance to win the Halo Reach on PC. It's the Steam key giving away, and we'll be giving it away next week as well. So make sure to follow all those details. You can enter yourself into contest. I'm sure we'll be talking about throughout the week on Twitter as well. So you can get yourself into that contest and get your chance to win Halo Reach and start playing it December 3rd. Guys, we got big things coming up for Halo Reach, of course. That'll be everything for the show for today. You can also support us by checking out our merch as well. Of course, everything you purchase here not only supports the show, it supports me, and I would highly appreciate that. Also, that's everything for today's show. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you again next week.